Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Work Your LinkedIn Profile workshop. My name is Maria Dror, and I'm the Reactor Program Manager for Tel Aviv. Before we start the session, I wanted to share some information with you that may be relevant for you through the session and at the end. So I will just want to quickly say hi again and mention that this event is an event session that is done for the Reactor community. This session will be presented by Amanda Merrifield and will be moderated by Dee Short. So as you know, the Reactor are local hubs for technical learning where developers and startups professionals connect and they build new skills on Azure and open source technologies. The Reactor space is currently closed, and therefore we focus on online events such as today's session. Before we start, I just wanted to let you know that don't worry, the event will be recorded and the recording will be available to you within a few days on our Reactor YouTube channel. I will also share the link with you in the chat box. You're welcome to share any questions that you have during the session, so feel free to use the Q&A section, and Amanda and Dee will take the time and answer your question through the session or at the end of the session. Last thing before I hand it over to Amanda is that I wanted to let you know that we have a survey link for this event, and we will share the link with you. And appreciate if you can take a minute or two to share your feedback with us. It will be very helpful for us for this event and future events as well. I think that's it from my end. I'll pass it on to Amanda now to kick off the session. So Amanda, over to you.
Thank you, Maria. All right, so welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. As Maria mentioned, my name is Amanda. We also have Dee in the Q&A to assist you if you have any questions. And today we're going to learn how you can rock your LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn has some powerful data, tools, and insights that can help you connect to opportunity. This starts with our professional community, where we have over 630 million members in over 200 countries and territories. Today, we're going to talk about how to connect to opportunity with LinkedIn by creating a locked-in profile, learning how you can grow your network, also how to share your voice, and staying informed within LinkedIn. We are using Microsoft Teams as our meeting room during this virtual webinar today. So I just wanted to quickly go over some event controls if you were not familiar with it. If you did want to toggle the Q&A, there is a button just at the top right-hand corner where you can, again, toggle that Q&A and ask questions either anonymously, or you can provide your name if you'd like. You can also pause and rewind this event as well. Since it is a Teams Live event, it is on demand. And if you did want some closed captions, if you click on that cog button at the bottom of your player, you should be able to turn on subtitles or closed captions. So let's start off with your profile. Your LinkedIn profile is a digital portfolio that represents you and tells your professional story. A lot of people often ask us, what's the difference between your profile and your resume? You want to think of your LinkedIn profile less as a resume and more as a dynamic portfolio that's an engaging, visual, and highlights your experience and skills to help you build your professional presence. So we're going to start off with some 6 steps that you can go through to rock your LinkedIn profile. The first step is to add a great photo. So usually you want to have a headshot that is done maybe with a clear background. So either a white background, black, just something that's not too distracting. Usually you want it to be just a little bit after your shoulders, but it's not super important. One thing that we do want to really stress is that when you do have a great profile photo, you have 9 times more connection requests and 21 times more profile views. It doesn't have to really be perfect in terms of your profile photo, but it does have to tell your professional community who you are. It can, again, either be a professional headshot, or you can also take one at home as well. If you are going to snap your own photo, just make sure that the photo is high resolution, has great lighting, and also features you. LinkedIn also has some filters as well that you can take a look at to help you polish your photo a little bit more. So the second step would be to have your profile headline. And this is a great way to show your value and passions in one quick line. Below your name, you'll fill your current role or a field that you aspire to enter. If you're seeking employment, it's best to avoid eager phrases like looking for new opportunities. More so, you would maybe want to consider adding something in terms of the field that you want to enter, what your skills and what your passions are. This is a really great opportunity as well to include keywords that recruiters and hiring managers will be searching for. And as you can see in this slide here, there are some individuals who have their current role, so head of client strategy and business development at Beyond, or they also given some keywords that highlights what they're currently doing in their current role. So strategic revenue, partnership, marketing, and development executive. So you just really want to ask yourself, if this is the only thing someone sees, what does it convey about me and what does it represent? The next thing that you'll want to include on your profile is a compelling summary. And you want to think of your summary as your elevator pitch. It should include an introduction to you and also highlight your accomplishments and aspirations. If you add a summary of 40 words or more, it makes your profile more likely to turn up in future employers' search as well. You will want to keep it short and sweet, so you don't need to list all of your career accomplishments. You have your experience section for that, but really, maybe it's best to include your aspirations in terms of what you want to do in the future or what you're really working towards, and maybe what you're currently looking for in LinkedIn. So if you're looking to grow your network, if you are looking for new opportunities, you can mention that you're looking for some experience to join the tech industry, for example. So over here, you can actually see a summary in the slide here. And it says, as a sales leader with over 25 years of experience, I'm passionate about connecting customers into solutions that help grow and scale their software businesses. My sales organization is focused on delivering excellence, delighting customers, and solving large software challenges at scale. Leadership is a privilege, and I feel fortunate to lead an organization where employees connect into their passion and purpose every day. I believe that culture and talent brings us to our mission in life. So after you have a detailed summary, the next thing that you really want to add to your profile is, of course, your work experience. And the experience section provides you with an opportunity to tell your professional story and talk about your accomplishments within each of these roles that you've had. You can use a couple of bullet points here and there, but the majority should read like a story, your professional story. If you worked at a startup or a smaller company that isn't as well known, it's also best practice to give a brief introduction to the company before detailing your experience. When members on LinkedIn upload their experiences onto their LinkedIn profile, they have 5 times more connection requests, 8 times more profile views, and 10 times more messages. The next step is to also add examples of your work. This is where you can upload rich media, such as photos, videos, presentations, or anything else that visually enhances your profile and makes it a little more dynamic. And this doesn't necessarily have to be content you own. If your company has a brand video or other assets, you can use them in your profile if they're not confidential. If there is something that really features you, so if you took part in a large project, if you were part of a case study with your organization, these are really great things to include as examples of your work within that detailed work experience. Step 6 is to add skills. So skills are a great way to showcase what you're good at. Adding 5 or more skills can get you up to 17 times more profile views, and you're in control of what order your skills are displayed in and who endorses you for what. Skills can be searched across LinkedIn, so it's another great way to expand your network. You're going to want to also make sure that your skills are highlighting and reflecting the skills needed for your next role. So one thing that I would recommend is if you are highlighting certain skills, you really want to include the things that you are very proficient in. So Microsoft Office, if you use this on a daily, you're very, very comfortable with Microsoft Excel, for example. These are great things to include into your skills, as a lot of job postings typically have those skills that they're looking for, and they'll list them out when you're taking a look at those job postings there. So now we're going to look into some awesome extras for your profile. Recommendations are a great way for you to build your professional credibility. And here are a couple things that you may want to keep in mind. You'll want to let the person know what you want to be recommended for specifically. So if it is for a project, or if you have led an initiative in the past, really when you're asking those individuals to give you that recommendation, again, ask them specifically what you want them to recommend you for. And you'll also want to choose people who you have worked with closely and who can provide specific examples of your strengths and skills. Another thing that I would say is that if you are usually requesting a recommendation for someone, it's really great practice to return the favor as well. So if you have worked with this person closely, you both should be able to give each other recommendations and just give praise and compliment each other for what they're really known for and what they do well at. Another thing is to join groups. When you join a few groups related to your industry and interests, it really helps you grow your network and stay up to date on trends and news. So one good place to start is with schools or universities that you've attended. And you can also search to see if your current employer has their own LinkedIn group as well. So this one's really, really important. Adding volunteering experience is a great way to round out your professional identity. And funny enough is that a lot of hiring managers say that they view volunteer experience as equivalent to formal work experience. So these are really, really great things to include into your profile. If you do a lot of volunteer work, usually, again, they see this as an equivalent to work experience as well. And there are a lot of companies, especially within, I guess, the tech industry, for example, where we have corporate responsibility, where we want to give back to the communities and really help with our impact that we make together as an organization. So really highlighting the volunteer experience that you have done in the past is really, really great to showcase to future employers and also recruiters as well. Not to only just let them know about this experience as something that, again, is equivalent to work experience, but to let them know what maybe you're passionate about. Another thing that I would recommend is to customize your profile URL. So you can promote your public profile and allow others to easily identify you in search results by customizing your public profile URL using maybe a variation of your name or your professional brand. This also makes it simpler for you to share your profile link on a business card, a resume, social media if you connect LinkedIn and your social media accounts together, and if you have a portfolio as well. I will show you in a couple minutes a live demo of how you can customize your profile URL. But another thing I do want to recommend is, as you can see over here in the slide, Tracy West Bay currently does not have a background banner or a header for their LinkedIn profile. This is also another great best practice or another additional add-on that you may want to add to your profile. And I'll explain why in a little bit as well. And then some things to not forget about is to add or update your location to discover opportunities and connections in your area. Education is also very important to include as well, and you can choose where in your profile it gets displayed. If you have had any publications, this is also a great thing to add to your profile as well, as there's a section in your profile that will feature all of your great work. And then if you have had any accomplishments, or if you have received a industry honor, or if you've won an award, these are all great things to feature in the accomplishments section of your profile as well. So now that we've talked about how to take your profile to the next level, let's talk about how you can leverage LinkedIn to build your professional network. You can build your network by sending invitations to connect or by accepting invites from others as well. If you are new to LinkedIn, a lot of people have asked, what does it mean when you see a first degree connection or a second or third degree connection? Your network consists of strong connections, the people that you know well and interact with often, as well as weak connections such as acquaintances or people you may not know personally but have shared a background, interest, or mutual connection that you have in common with. On LinkedIn, first degree connections are people that you are already connected to in your network. The second degree connection are people you share a connection with, and third degree connections are connected to your second degree connections. So there are several ways for you to connect with people that you know. You can invite your existing contacts by syncing your contacts to the My Network tab. You can also use LinkedIn suggestions for people who you may know from either working together or attending the same school. And then when you reach out to people, you may want to also include a personal note to increase the likelihood of the person you're sending that invite to. You can include things like how you met, how you know them, or why you want to connect with them. And this is just a preview of how you can customize an invitation. This individual said, "Hi, Tatiana. We met earlier today when you did a LinkedIn presentation at my organization. I'd love to keep in touch." So this is very important if you are sending out a connection request to someone who you maybe met at a conference a little while back, or if someone has come to your organization to do a presentation like Tatiana, it is very important to include that note just so that individual knows why you're trying to connect with them. A lot of individuals have also asked if someone has sent you an invite to connect and you don't know them, do you have to accept that invitation? And these are things that are entirely up to you. When you go into LinkedIn, you really want to think of your intentions as to why you are joining LinkedIn. If you are looking mainly for your job search and you're not really looking to grow your network with people who you may not know, then that's perfectly fine. You don't have to accept all of the invitations that are coming to you. I usually say that if I don't have any mutual connections, or if an individual is not within the same geographic area as me, then I typically don't accept them very frequently unless they have sent me a note, for example, to let me know why they want to connect, or if they have a network that I would also like to connect to as well. I would say use discretion when accepting invitations from people you don't know well or at all. So if you, again, are mainly using this for personal reasons to, again, jumpstart your job search, then definitely use that discretion. You can also manage your privacy settings to choose who can contact you and what appears on your profile. So if you wanted to set your profile to be a little bit more private, then there are some simplified versions of a profile that can be found when people who aren't members search for you on a public search engine like Bing or Google, for example. So there are also many more great ways to leverage your LinkedIn network. You can message a connection to request an informal interview to get advice on your career path, learn about an industry you're interested in, or learn about a specific company that you'd like to work for as well. You can also ask for a job referral by reaching out to your connections at companies you intend to apply to. And make sure to include why you're interested in the specific role and your appreciation for your connections consideration. Then if you have less than 10 years of professional experience, you can also request a mentor through the Career Advice Hub. Then lastly, we have thought leadership. So LinkedIn is a place where you can share your insights, expertise, and opinions with your professional community. There are two great ways to share your professional perspective on LinkedIn. The first way to share your perspective is through quick status updates. The second is to explore a topic in more detail by publishing a post. So what's the difference? Sharing updates is a way to quickly share your knowledge, perspective, and insights on what you really care about. And then publishing content or writing an article is a way to explore a topic by writing a long form post. Typically what I did with updates is if I have worked with some schools, for example, since I'm a Microsoft trainer, I typically like to send updates on LinkedIn to let people know what I'm currently up to. So if I have gone to a certain school to teach students how to use Microsoft 365, oftentimes I would like to highlight that and share that with my network, just to let them know that I'm still training, I'm still working with our communities to offer free content. So to share a status update, you can start on your homepage, and then you'll see a share box at the top where you can sign into LinkedIn. There are a few things that can help your status update stand out from the crowd. You can first share your authentic voice. So be very, very authentic and stay on brand, because people are following you and they want to know what Amanda is currently up to. Then another best practice is to post frequently. So you'll create more opportunities for you and your content to be discovered. Consider adding a reminder in your calendar to post something. And another frequently asked question that I have received a lot is, how often should you post? And that, again, depends on your intentions on LinkedIn and really thinking about why you're here on LinkedIn. If you're looking to grow your network, I say it's usually pretty good to update at least once a week. But sometimes I know that can be a little bit tough since we're constantly on the go, working at home, or maybe even working in a hybrid situation. So there isn't really a benchmark as to how often you should post, but I would usually say that if you are looking to really grow your network, you should try to post at least once a week. The next best practice is to start a conversation. So when you post something quick and snappy, this engages your professional community. If you engage in other people's updates as well, or if you are posting your own update, it's great to pose a question or provide your own perspective, or even give an insider point of view. And the fourth best practice is to include rich media. So again, rich media just means anything that you can really interact with, anything outside of text. So if you're looking for photos, videos, slide decks or presentations, links as well, those are also rich media. And posts like these will usually get more comments and likes as well. And then create an opportunity for other people to also engage on to your updates and posts as well. Think of things that you can share that will benefit your professional community. And again, ask a question to your community to see how they can maybe provide another perspective. So now that we've covered some best practices around sharing updates, let's just talk about publishing longer form posts on LinkedIn. This is a great way to establish thought leadership within a community of professionals. And when you publish content on LinkedIn, it becomes part of your profile. It gets shared with your network and reaches the largest groups of professionals of over 630 million. Once you've published content, people can follow you and then also stay on top of what you say and post on LinkedIn. So how does publishing work? Like sharing a status update, you can get started on your homepage and select write an article to get started. And don't worry, again, I will be showing a live demo after this presentation. So to go through some best practices for publishing content, the first thing would be to create a headline that stands out. Ask yourself if you would click on it in your busy day. And of course, to include a photo, so rich media. Articles with cover photos get more views and comments than those without. Then, of course, you also want to stay authentic to your brand and your voice. Make sure that you show up as your authentic self when you are publishing content and writing posts. Then you really want to think about your audience. So tailor your content to give back to your professional community. And then lastly, the article length really matters. You can write a long form post, but just make sure it's not too long. The sweet spot for an article length is about 600 to 1,000 words. So with that, we're just going to jump into a live demo. Pardon me here. There you are. All right, so we're currently using a demo account for LinkedIn, and this individual's name is John Smith. So if you take a look over here, this is essentially what LinkedIn looks like once you have signed in and you're on your homepage. As I mentioned, this is how you would be able to start a post or write an article. And to write an update, you can just simply click on Start a Post, or to go into a longer form post, or if you wanted to publish an article, it would just be just below the Start a Post, right under Write an Article. So we're going to go into John Smith's profile, and we're going to take a look here. As I mentioned, it's really great to have a cover photo or banner photo for your profile. And typically, it's great to have a photo that maybe represents the industry that you're in, or maybe represents the work that you do, or what you're passionate about. John also has a professional profile photo as well. And he has included his location as well, and where he currently works, as well as his education is also included here. And as his headline, John has said that he is a game developer at Microsoft, and he's also an esports enthusiast. So when we mentioned that best practice in creating your own headline, it's great to include your current role, but also maybe include what you're passionate about. In this profile, John has also provided a summary as well, so his elevator pitch, to let people know that he has over 8 years of experience as a game developer. He works with an amazing game making team filled with enthusiasts, my goodness. and they have a creative process from start to finish when they create these games. They also included some projects that they have worked on in the past, and included Halo, Gears of War, and also Forza as big titles that he has worked on. Then, as you can see, there is a featured section. So when you write posts, so if you have either a update or an article that you have written, it's really great to include that into your featured section of your profile. And the reason being is because when an individual lands onto your profile, this is usually one of the things that are right at the top of your profile there. And if there is a recruiter who is looking at your profile, it's great to have this featured section to show your activities. So what are you currently working on? If you have built out a post or an article or a blog post that you have created on your own, then these are great things that you can feature. And to edit that, you can click on add, so on this plus sign, and you can upload either rich media locally from your computer. You can add links, so if you have a website or a portfolio, you can also include links to that as well. And then again, if you're very active on LinkedIn, it's great to feature some articles or posts that were very engaging and that has received a lot of attention or views or even reactions. Then, as you can see on John Smith's profile, you can see his dashboard. So it currently says that he is an all-star, or he has a all-star profile. And that just means that he has pretty much filled out all of the profile sections on his LinkedIn profile. So if you are currently working on your LinkedIn profile and you do not have that all-star, I guess, badge yet, then look into your profile sections and see what other information you can really fill out. Then next, John has also included his work experience. So he included a brief description as to what he does as a game developer. And then it's also great to include highlights as well. So John currently doesn't have this on his profile, but if he, again, maybe received a MVP award for his team, this is also something really great to include, or also some metrics that he has maybe excelled in or he has reached. So for example, if he ended up, this is outside of this industry of game development, but if he was in sales, for example, and he was able to exceed his budget by 200%, that is also something really great to include into your experience. And then as you can see, John also has some rich media to show some works that he has worked on as a game developer in Microsoft. And if you wanted to add rich media to that, you would just click on, you would just click on the pencil beside the role that you want to add that media for. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll be able to upload photos, presentations. You can also add links as well. And this is, again, a really great place to feature the work that you've done and that you're very proud of as well. Then from here, you can also see John's education as well. So he graduated from the University of Toronto and got a bachelor's degree in computer games and programming skills. Then he also added licenses and certifications. So this is another great thing to add to your LinkedIn profile. If you are a premium member, if you just click on this, I guess people sometimes call it a waffle, but if you like to click on the work tab at the top hand navigation, and you have access to LinkedIn Learning, these are great things that you can include as well. So if you're completing these learning courses on LinkedIn, you can choose to have these included in your licenses and certifications as well. Then if your organization also has certification programs like Microsoft, then you can also include this here too. Another great thing thing to include as well is if, again, if you're maybe in a sales role and you have completed a selling course, then this is also something that you can put in there as well. Then you can see John has added his volunteering experience and some skills and endorsements. So he really wants people to endorse him for game development, computer programming, and also Microsoft Office. But if you click on Show More, there are some other skills that he has highlighted here as well. And you can add up to 50 skills. So it sounds like a lot, but it will add up. And from here, this is where you'll be able to choose which top skills to pin. And you can only pin 3 at the top, but you also have access to quite a few other, I guess, topics or fields. So, for example, if there are tools and technologies that you're familiar with, industry knowledge such as like software, coding languages as well. These are all great things to include. And then over here, John also has included accomplishments. So if you are bilingual or if you speak more than one language, this is very, 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 very great to add to your LinkedIn profile as well, because a lot of recruiters are looking for people who can speak multiple languages. So this is, again, a great thing to highlight. Then on John's profile, you can also see some interests as well. So he's currently following certain groups or organizations, also some influencers as well. And this will just give John's connections a better idea as to what he's really interested in, maybe what he's passionate about, and also some groups that he is a part of as well. Now, if you wanted to edit this URL or profile URL, John has already done this, but if you click on Edit Profile and URL, this is where you'll be able to change a few preferences. So if you wanted to change your visibility, this is where you'll be able to do it. And your custom URL is just right at the top there. So if you wanted to adjust this, then you can just click on that pencil there and change the URL for your profile. So I also mentioned earlier, it's a really great practice to add this top banner photo. And I'm going to explain to you why. When you are looking at your network and you're looking for people that you want to connect with, it's really great to have that banner because on this small profile card, it shows your, of course, profile picture, your name, and your headline, but it also shows that banner image as well. So it gives people a detailed view as to maybe what you currently do, again, what you're maybe passionate about or what industry you're in. Something that I have done, this is my public profile. And again, I am a trainer at Microsoft. So I've added a banner photo to let people know what I currently do. And we also have a website that lists out all of the free events that we currently offer. So you can consider adding this as well. One thing that I would say as well is if you go to canva.com, you'll be able to design your own banner photo, just like I've done here. And I've actually used Canva to quickly create a banner for me and to just add that text there. But again, this isn't something that's very, very important if you don't want to add that text to your banner photo. Just even including a image again to maybe reflect what industry you're in also works for you as well. So with that being said, I think that concludes my demo and we can open it up to some questions. Dee, did you want to just let me know if we have any questions here?
Yeah, there is nothing at the moment. I think I've answered everything that's come in so far.
Okay. Is there anything that anyone would like us to go over a little bit more in more detail?
The one thing you might know, I had a previous question. Someone was asking if there was a way to update your profile and then publish it later. I did notice in the LinkedIn settings that there was a private mode, which I think is what that's for, but I am not entirely sure.
Yes, there is. That's a very good question. Let me just pull up that LinkedIn browser again. So yeah, this is also another common question as well. If you are currently working on your profile and you don't want your network to be notified of all of the changes that you make, there are some settings that you can include on your LinkedIn profile. I'm just going to bring this back up over here. So if I go into setting and privacy, pardon me, I'm just trying to figure out where it is.
I believe I found it in the visibility section, visibility of your LinkedIn. Let me find it again. Yeah, in the visibility section, and the visibility of your profile and network. If you scroll down, there is, oh, actually it's the first one, profile viewing options.
This one here.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So this is actually, if someone is actually searching for an individual under the name of John Smith, for example, if someone was taking a look at your LinkedIn profile, this is maybe what it would show. So if you wanted to be in private mode, if you wanted to look at someone's profile, for example, these are just more privacy settings as to show your full details, or if you wanted to have more private details. There is.
And we do have some new questions coming in as well now.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, all. I'm just trying to find that for you. But sorry, there is definitely a way for you to change that. So if people are uploading things onto their LinkedIn profile, you do have those preferences in your settings to turn that off. And I will look for this for you.
Okay. The next question we have is, how do you delete a skill?
How do you delete a skill? Very good question. So I'm just going to go back onto John's profile. And we'll go into the skill section. And if you click on that pencil there, there is a little trash bin. So if you didn't want to have, for example, Microsoft products, then you can just click on that and then save. And that's how you'd be able to delete your skills.
Cool. And next question is about using hashtags in posts.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they just want to know how to add them to a post.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're creating your posts, I would say it's also a really great best practice to add those hashtags. And if you're writing about, say, a free workshop, so for example, join us for a free LinkedIn workshop on Thursday, October 15th. To learn more about how to rock your LinkedIn profile. From there, you already have some hashtags that are recommended just based off of what you have written on your post. So you can use that LinkedIn hashtag, or you can create your own. So if you just click on Shift 3, that should give you that hashtag sign. And then you can then choose the hashtags that you want to include onto your post. So for example, free trainings. And of course, LinkedIn is going to give you some recommendations as well. Webinar, free events.
This actually segues into one of the other questions, which is how do you advertise an event on LinkedIn, which I believe you're also answering right now.
Yes. Okay, so I'll go there. And if you wanted to advertise an event, this is currently the home page. If you just look at the sidebar, just a little underneath your profile card, there is this events tab, I guess you can call it. If you click on that, this is where you'll be able to create an event. So this is where you will upload your company logo. There's a background or banner image if you wanted to include that as well. And I would say when you are creating public facing content, if you're using LinkedIn to really advertise your business or the work that you do, I would say that it's best to include as much as possible. So always try to include a banner photo, a profile photo, or like the logo, and then try to fill this in as much as possible by including an event name, the organizer, and so on and so forth. It's a really great question. Another way that you can do it is you can go into your network, and then over here, you'll be able to see all of the events that are available to you. But you can just click on the events tab there from my network, and then you can click create.
All right, 1 second, let's find another one.
No problem.
Oh, someone asked the advantage of LinkedIn Premium.
The advantages of LinkedIn Premium, yeah, of course. So I'm just going to click on this so you can actually see. So there are a few different advantages, right? It again depends on your intentions on LinkedIn. So if you want to join LinkedIn Premium to help get hired and get ahead, or if you want it for your business, there are a lot of different things that you can really consider when joining LinkedIn Premium. I would say for the regular consumer, when you have access to LinkedIn Premium, you will have access to LinkedIn Learning. And this is one of my favorite features on LinkedIn because it's like learning courses that you can add to your profile after you've completed it. And it really helps you with getting more skills and really, again, learning more about, for example, different types of software that you're not proficient in at the moment. With LinkedIn Premium, you also have a few other perks, such as being able to hide your visibility on LinkedIn. So if someone, if I just go into my profile, you can see for premium members, you have more access to, I think with LinkedIn Premium, I think you also have, oh, sorry, no. That was with the older version of LinkedIn, because before there was a cap as to how many connections that you could have. If you had a LinkedIn Premium, then that would increase the amount of people that you can connect with, but I don't believe that that's a thing anymore. But if you do go into your LinkedIn profile and you wanted to take a look at the premium plans that are available to you, then you can take a look at these plans and see how you can really utilize it and how it will benefit you. I hope I answered that correctly.
No, that's great. What does it mean when a person has on their profile follow, instead of connect as a default?
Yeah, that's a good question. So typically, if you are looking to connect with, for example, I'm just going to go to an influencer, Satya Nadella. I'm currently following Satya Nadella. That's just so I can get updates on what he is posting, get updates on his activity, but I may not know Satya personally. When you choose to follow someone, it's typically someone who you're not directly connected to, but maybe they provide a lot of thought leadership. So that would be the benefit of actually following someone rather than connecting with them.
The next question is, can you organize your interests section and choose what actually shows up to people?
That is a good question. Let's see.
I don't think you can, but it's worth looking into.
Yeah, for sure. That's a question that I've never gotten before. So let's take a look. I don't think that you can specifically choose what shows up in your interests. If I go into profile, yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like it. When you do follow certain people or organizations, it will automatically show up in your interests. That's a good question.
And we had someone asking about referral requests, best practices for referral requests.
Referral requests. So if you're applying for a job, for example.
I think asking for someone in your connections for a referral is what they mean.
For the best practice, usually you will want to ask someone that you know pretty well, or if they are maybe a second degree connection. I typically like to ask for referrals mainly from my first degree connections, because I know that these people I have worked with in the past for the most part, or they maybe know me through LinkedIn and they can actually see my professional journey. When I'm asking for a referral, typically, let's actually see if there is something that we can. Sorry, I was trying to find a job that I can ask myself for a referral to show. But if you are asking for a referral, typically, again, people that you really know, let them know why you're interested in this role. And just giving them a little bit of an overview as the skills that you currently have and why they should recommend you. But usually, again, if you're asking for a referral, you really want to do this with someone who you know quite well, since it is a pretty big ask. But yeah, the best practice is definitely let them know why you're interested in that role and how you can be a good fit.
The next thing was the career advice tab for finding mentors. They're looking for where that is.
The advice hub. Let's see. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah, I tried to look for it myself, but I think I've been on LinkedIn too long, so it doesn't show up in my screen.
That is a good question. It would have shown under either jobs or work, but with LinkedIn, there are multiple updates, just like a lot of other platforms that happen quite regularly. I would say that if you are looking for a mentor, you can check out your network. I'm just trying to see where you can find that. Unfortunately, I am not able to find it at the moment, but once we find out, we will regroup and get you the answer to this question. But one thing that I did want to point out, since we're already here, is there is a section for interview prep. So if you click on that, there are some common interview questions that you can take a look at that LinkedIn has prepared for you. And if you are speaking to a recruiter or a hiring manager, there are some common questions that you can take a look at. You can also look into certain, I guess, roles or industries that may be relevant for you. And it just gives you really good insights as to how you can really prepare for your interview and how to maybe answer some of these questions that maybe you don't really know how to answer. Yeah.
Okay, so we have it's not another one about hashtags. We answered that.
So we have also. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Someone was asking if there's a way to filter suggestions. They're getting suggestions from people they used to go to university with, and that's been a long time ago. So they're asking if there's a way to change how your suggestions happen.
In terms of your network, let's see. I don't believe that there is a way to filter connections or for your network, but if you're finding that there are some posts that aren't really relevant to you and you don't really want to see a lot of these posts that come up, if you hover over them, you can always click on improve my feed or hide this post. And from there, you'll be able to kind of customize your feed a little bit more and take away some of that information that, again, isn't really relevant to you. But yeah, unfortunately, right now, there isn't a way to filter your network that I am aware of.
This next one I can answer. Someone was asking if you can create private groups. You can create what are called unlisted groups. So it doesn't appear in any search results and it's not visible on members' profiles. So that would probably get the effect that you're looking for the person that asked that.
Okay, great. Well, we are almost at time, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for everyone to join us today. It was a lot of fun. I hope you found this webinar helpful, and I will bring it back to Moria.
Thank you so much, Amanda, and thank you, Dee, for hosting this event and answering all the questions. It was really, really great, and we got some amazing, good feedback. So I'm sure attendees found this helpful. I did share the link to the survey, so it will be great if you could take a minute or two to complete the survey. Since we're just right on time, I will close the session now. So I wanted to thank you again, and thanks everyone for joining us. Yes, and goodbye for now. Thank you.
Thank you.